Today I wanted to tell you a little bit about some power words, or a power word. There's two actually, that I was given and gifted by the Kundalini directly, and one of them is incredibly powerful for basically, gosh, I'm just learning right now some of the things I can do with it. It's such a powerful word. I found that I had to be careful using it occasionally because you might feel like that energetic arc in the roof of your mouth at times, or all the time, and over time that evolves and changes, and yeah, eventually you'll find you have to keep your tongue tipped to the roof of your mouth to allow that energy to move through your body properly and in a healthy way. Um, And this power word I found just on the way home today. I was practicing some new techniques with that word, and I found I was able to manifest a lot of powerful protections and shields of protection, impenetrable protection that were able to block out certain energies and forces from jumping into my body and basically making me feel ill and sick and poisoned consistently, and for a long time. It's been going on for a year and a half. And this power word, I was gifted while I was in Dominica, in the rainforest. Wait a minute. No, wait. That was another word. That was Barum. That was a power word given to me that was designed with the purpose of basically pushing away things from your thoughts, from your mind, from energetically. Barum. B-A-R-U-M, something like that. Or B-A-R-O-O-M. Barum. That word has an effect of pushing things away. I found, yeah, there's many different ways you can use it, and yeah, that one can help you keep away certain thoughts and energies, and it can really push stuff away from you that you didn't want. It's not it's not very strong. It's a very subtle word. It's sort of a word that the less you put energy you put into it, the more it may actually work for certain forces. Just by saying may actually be the most effective for certain circumstances. That's what I found. Certain things really like to resist and be resisted. They feed off of the friction and the dissonance, the energy of that in between, and so by doing it gently, it just seems to erase that and throw away the energy anyway. And I found it helped me in certain circumstances like that quite a bit, and I use it often, daily. The other word that I was given not too long ago is an extremely powerful word, and it's not like anything I've ever used ever. I've tried many different mantras, Sanskrit terms and words, and this one is by far the most powerful one that I've ever used. And the word is Ramakua. And this word is extremely powerful. And I was gifted this straight from the Kundalini, and one day I just said it out loud, and I immediately felt like a Christmas tree, like, lit up. The energy was so intense just from saying it once. I couldn't really say it again. I tried it a few times, and I'm like, okay, I see. There's so much energy. I got to be mindful and very careful with this word because it can burn me in a way or overstimulate me. It felt like doing 10 minutes of devotion, non-stop chanting Hare Krishna in just like half a second of that word, and yeah, I realized right away, okay, this is something I gotta be careful with because it's too powerful almost. It's like, I feel the energy rising. I feel it like, I feel it rising up in the upper part of my, the roof of my mouth. And I don't know how many of you will feel that or what stage you're at, but if you're there and you're feeling that energy in the roof of your mouth, and it's really powerful. I found personally that just saying that power word once, it just felt like a light bulb was in there, and it just turned on, and the energy arcs up, and it's just like, whoa, it goes up like so much. It's amazing. It's just crazy how much energy is generated with just saying that word once. So yeah. So there's a lot of ways you can use that word, and I'm sure you'll figure it out yourself if you try it out yourself and explore it. I found that word has meaning to it. It's sort of like the I ams, like anything after you say I am, you can add to it, sort of. You can do whatever you want after it. It can, or with it. So you could have an intention with it. And empower that intention with a vision and make that vision into a reality or a powerful, energetic creation that has the ability to protect you or do anything really that you need it to, whatever it is the divine will allow you to. So what I found with it is, like, on the way home I was being possessed. I was feeling a lot of energy trying to hijack my third chakra and other areas, and just lots of thoughts flowing through me that I didn't want in me at all. And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be alone here or with beauty and inner peace and joy. And yeah, so I was being bombarded with visions and images of family members and other people and stuff that, relentlessly bombarding me with feels like hell almost. And it's not that beautiful. And so what I found was that I could manifest a impenetrable shield of protection using that word with the intention, and preferably like a vision of like a shield, a perfect shield, a white shield. And a white shield is typically the best. Golden is maybe helpful too. That would help in some ways. White is every color before they are broken up into the spectrum, though, so it can protect every chakra, it can protect everything. It's sort of, white is purity, it is everything. It's probably the best overall. So yeah, do consider trying that out. And all I did is I envisioned the shield, and when I saw that face showing up again, and I just raised a shield of impenetrable protection from that force showing up and being able to get to me with that word Ramakua. And just saying it once lightly is incredibly powerful. And yeah, I've used it for many things. It's something I've just been practicing too. So there's many different techniques and many different ways I'm sure I'll come to find out to use it. But I found it really worked for me there, and it doesn't seem like the divine's stopping it. I'm being allowed to let go of that stuff, and now okay, there it is. See, the divine can allow it if it wants. But yeah, these words have incredible power and incredible ability to generate energetic protections and things that can, I think, they can do anything. Mirrors are another thing that are very helpful in the astral. Scissors can be helpful for cutting cords. between people if you don't want to be caught up with somebody or attached to somebody else. Cutting, like, you can see it sometimes in a vision. You might see like a tube, a long energetic tube going from you somewhere else, and you can ask it, like, say, where are you going and what are you connected to, things like that, and it can show you where it is, and you just take some scissors or a knife and just cut that off, and you can remove those cords. Mirrors I find really helpful. You can push them at others or at yourself. Even looking in a mirror can be very, very, very powerful and helpful way of removing, temporarily at least, allowing yourself to be free from entities and other things. I don't understand why, but it seems like they hijack your the lens of the ego that sees through your eyes and your senses, and the focal points there, and they try to like get in there and interfere. And looking in a mirror sort of turns that backwards on them. It's like it reset, like they just can't see you. It's like they go away and they're not able to control you as much. You can do things like that. I found pushing them out of my body while looking in a mirror and increasing the power of that act of forcing them out with a mantra can actually enhance that power that mirror has. And you can say, this is going to stay permanent, or something like that. This powerful mirror here in front of me, and this energy that's not allowing them in is here, and it's very powerful, and it'll remain this way as I walk away from it. Things like that can help. Rubbing your head around in circles. That's where apparently a lot of entities like to attach to people, is in the fontanelle and the crown, and that can help kind of dislodge them. Keeping really clean is a healthy way to help that out too. Baking soda is great. Bentonite and zeolite clays are also very helpful. But yeah, mantras, these power words, these things are real, and they're very powerful, and they have the ability to manifest things in our lives. And I've seen the power of mantras in different circumstances over and over and over again, especially with the bliss and everything that I inject into it, and that makes it infinitely more powerful. So I had a few experiences while in Dominica using the mantra Ram Ra Sa Sa Se So Hum. I lost my umbrella on the way to town one day, and it was raining like crazy. I get off the bus, and I left it in the bus, and I'm walking around like, oh my gosh, I left it, and it's just pouring out. Didn't have one, and so I thought, wait a minute, I'm going to try this mantra, and this is the first time I ever tried it for trying to get something, like a physical object. I put my arms to the sky, and I did it as loud as I could, and I said, with the laughter. And within and I just asked for like an umbrella to show up in my hands like a miracle for free. And I changed it around after. I'm like, wait, like from somebody who wants to give one away, who would like to give one away anyway. And I did that, and within about 10 minutes or so, I walked into a shop. I found one that was selling umbrellas, and they were all like $20 each there, 20 EC. And this family of Australians walked in with their son, and he had this little pocket umbrella. And as I was asking the shopkeeper, I said, how much for that umbrella? Like these big $20 ones, and he said, 20 EC. The family heard me, and they're like, hey, well, what about this one? We have one here, and we want to get a new one for our son. It's too small. We'd like to get him a bigger one. And I was like, wow, thank you. And I was grateful for that, and I was amazed, and I was really blown away with just how quickly that mantra was answered. That prayer, that energetic willing into existence and making it happen through willful knowing that it would happen. It wasn't an asking. It was more of like a umbrella will come to me in the perfect way from someone. when you're doing these things, you don't necessarily always want to ask. You want to manifest it. You want it to happen. You're invoking it. So it's not like you're having to wait for it. My cigarette just starts rolling back and forth. I'm not even touching it. Okay, yeah, that was just one experience. A couple days later, I lost my machete in the rainforest while I was working for my friend. And I got there, and yeah, I spent an hour and a half looking for it. And then the next day, I decided to go back and see what I could do and see if I could find it. And I couldn't find it. So, yeah, I thought, well, I'm going to just try this again. I saw how it worked for the umbrella. Let's just see if that wasn't like a fluke or something. Let's just really, if this one works, then I just knew this is like a miracle and that I'm actually like pretty much manifesting myself, because there's no way that it would have happened that easily without it, unless it was the divine doing it for me. And so what I did was another mantra the same way. I put my arms in the sky. I went Rama Rasa Sase Soham with that laughter. And in the laughter I just said, like, that blade is just going to show up in my hands like a miracle, like a joke almost. It's just going to be like, boom, it lands in my lap. And that was it. I was just like a miracle, like a joke. It's so funny. It's just going to show up and land right in my lap. And within about 30 seconds, my dog, Coconut, who was with me at the time, comes around the tree with this blade in her mouth. And it was like the first time she's ever picked up like pretty much any human thing like that. Like typically she's not picking up objects, especially my stuff, much. Things that big, like a big heavy blade like that. I mean, it was like 3 feet long. It happened so quickly, and it happened so well, and it happened so fast. And she just shows up, and I grabbed it from her mouth, and that was it. And I didn't have to look for it. It came to me. And that was like just one of many, okay, or two of many. There was many, many more. I had mice in the house, and I was trying to get them out. And I did a mantra, and within 24 hours, one of them ran. As I was walking down the hallway, it was trying to run into a bedroom, and it just lost control. It started skidding sideways, and it ran, and it did this arc, and it jumped into my laundry basket. All I had to do is pick it up and carry it out across the river and drop it off where it couldn't get back. And that happened twice, actually, pretty much. Well, the second time I jumped into a bag. Yeah, there's other things I did too, like turning, the water was kept on being turned off in Dominica at the house because there was damage to the pipes, and so they were constantly doing work on the pipes. And I kept on, yeah, they'd usually turn it off for at least 12 hours, 24 hours, sometimes more. They'd never leave it off for like an hour or two. It would always be a long time, like 5, 6 maximum, I think. At the shortest they would do it. And I started doing these mantras and just praying that water would just come back on like a miracle. And usually, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it would come back on within 5 minutes. And it happened over and over and over again until finally it stopped. And I have a feeling it's probably because that was like somebody was working on the job and doing whatever they could to like fix and repair the pipes, and I probably was like messing with everything they were doing. And I realized then like to be very mindful and not use it to force things in certain circumstances. You don't want to use it to coerce others, because the karma involved can come back to you that way as well. And I mean in a negative way, of course. Like there's positive things too. I mean, it's like, oh, this gentleman's gonna pick me up while I'm hitchhiking. I've been walking for 8 hours, and here I'm just gonna do it. Well, the divine might make you do it anyway. Kundalini might just be like, oh, all right, let's do it. But yeah, you know what? I'd done that once, and it happened. The guy just pulled over. He was like going, and he was like, nah. He shook his head as he going by, and then I did it suddenly, and he's like, oh, and he pulls over. So you know what? Like, you want to be careful and mindful, and not like try to manipulate or coerce other people. This is more of a thing you'd want to do if you maybe lost something, if you need money. You don't want to target people with your intention to change them in any way. And I'm just saying this, I guess. I think most Kundalini awakened people are probably smart enough to realize that. And if you don't understand the implications of karma yet, then you'll understand that whatever you dish out to somebody else that way will probably end up coming back to you again sooner or later. And yeah, it may or may not be a good thing. It may make you want to do some form of service instead of letting somebody go by, maybe. But you just want to be careful. You don't want to create too many karmic loops that way. Better to do things yourself and say like, well, Ramanasa, so my ego's gonna magically enjoy doing this hard work. Something like that. You can do that. You can chant and pray that your ego is gonna enjoy doing things that maybe it wouldn't have. You can use that mantra to make your ego more able to do things for the divine that if for some reason you're finding very difficult, like if it's serving somebody or forgiving somebody, mantra, yeah, there's different ways you can use that, but I found it helps in certain circumstances to get my ego on track right away, and then I'm not having to like mess around too much in circumstances where otherwise I might find it too difficult to just get out of bed. Even some days when you're tired and you're weak and you're just trying to get up, you're like, I don't want to do the dishes, I don't want to do that. Well, you just do it. You get your ego out of the way with those mantras. That can help very much. If you're feeling that kind of thing, it can help you in that way. Okay, I think that's pretty much all that I have to say about those mantras. I gave you some examples of their power and how useful they can be, and just use them with good intentions, and make sure that your ego isn't getting too attached to using them to like just get things you want all the time. Like certain things, talk to your Kundalini and ask her what she feels is right too, and talk to the divine and make sure from her, she'll let you know what she wants you to do with it. But just be careful with it. Use it wisely. Don't use it as a tool to hurt others or manipulate others or control other people. Use it for your own self-empowerment, your own protection and things like that, if you feel like you need that from entities or whatever forces may be trying to harm you or whatever. You can really make things a lot safer for you by doing these things, so keep that in mind. Thank you. The last thing I'm going to say is just be aware that these mantras are not like toys. Like, they're very powerful, and they actually work. They actually have a lot of power to them, and you want to be using them more for your own self than you want to be using them for trying to manipulate anything and anyone else. It's about your personal space, your personal life, your personal thing more than about trying to control others. And I'm just putting that out there so you don't have to learn those lessons the hard way. Because there's a reason why people have gone through a lot of what they've gone through, and it's something that people should know about so they can avoid a lot of the pitfalls and problems that could come that way. But it's nothing to worry, fear, or anything. Just make sure you're using it, safely and in a way that's not going to harm anyone, and you'll be okay too. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to, please do comment below and let me know what you think and how these have helped you or worked for you in any way. And I wish you well. And I send you my love and blessings. And I can't wait to see you again soon. See you later.